What have you done? You think killing the Hermesian pursuer was the end of it? It was the beginning. You have awakened an evil, old and malicious. It tormented Sisyphus for all eternity. Sisyphus may be gone, but his burden isn't. It will follow you to the ends of the earth and make sure all your victories, all that you've reclaimed, all that you've achieved is undone.
Welcome back to our playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. We are moving on to a battle with the Burden today. The Burden is our adversary. I had spent a few Argo Fate in the last couple of days to try to prevent him from catching up to us, but the meeting was inevitable. he caught up to us. I think there's more adversary symbols maybe on this exploration deck than there were in Cycle 1. At least I have been seeing more of them. But I am excited to get into this battle. The Burden is a unique fight. There are a number of additional rules here that we will cover in a second, as well as a lot of text on his primordial sheet. Let's take a look at his miniature here. He is this giant mechanical ball that has I think the main part is stone, and he has figures carved out of it. I mean, who knows if they're figures that are carved or if they're people who are just kind of like etched into there. Let's see, then we have the mechanical legs down here, and we have this ambrosial hand that is just popping out of the top. He's bearing down on us from this little mountain, which is very fitting for this fight. Let's go ahead and put him back there in the center of the map. He always starts out here facing downwards. This fight is unique, not only because he has a lot of rules on his sheet and in the rule book, but just because of the way it's actually done if you are not trying to actually kill him. Because unlike the Hermesian Pursuer, or even like Temenos or the Nietzschean, where if you're not trying to kill him, you're just trying to like deal a few wounds and get out at a certain time, or like deal power, like do an attack with a certain amount of power and get out. We are literally just trying to escape this fight. Like, we are just trying to get from point A to point B so that we can try to escape from the Burden, and he is not going to make it easy on us necessarily. To start, this battle is taking place on a mountainside. So the leftmost column, or the westmost column over there, is the bottom of the mountain, and this rightmost or this eastmost side is the top of the mountain. And our Titans are trying to climb the mountain to escape. To start with this, since this is the first battle that we have with the Burden, we only have to get one Titan across the top in order for us to be counted as a victory, but similarly, we only have to lose one Titan for it to count as a defeat. We have a number of cliff tiles around here. These are basically obstacles. Let's see what all their traits are, but they're, here we go. Obstacles, obscuring, indestructible, all that good stuff. All these tiles, except for the big square ones, are considered small cliffs, and the square ones are considered large cliffs. You can try to climb these cliffs. So if you are moving, you can pause your movement essentially and then say, I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do a climb test. And you're going to roll a die. You need a test of 8 or higher to climb over the small cliffs, or a test of 10 or higher to climb over the large cliffs. If you pass the test, then you can proceed to continue your movement through the cliff as if there was no tile there, but you cannot end your movement on it. If you fail, then you just stop your movement in its tracks. So it's a little inconvenient there. It does make you really think about, like, do you really want to try to climb this cliff, because there is a penalty for failing it, and that is not moving, and moving is very important in this fight. Our Titans are also tethered together by a rope. So if we have Earthshaker here, who is, let's just say he runs up, he somehow has a ton of movement, 1, he's going to climb the cliff. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's going to get up here. Actually, I think he's going to get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. He's going to get here. And even if he had more movement, he's going to... he can't go any further. He has to be within 10 spaces. So I think this would count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, he has to be within 10 spaces of the next closest Titan, both above and below him. Again, where above is to the east and below is to the west. So you can't just have a single Titan be responsible for like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna have one super moving Titan be able to try to get to the top of the mountain. Then the next fight, oh, I'm gonna have 2 of those. You have to keep them relatively grouped close together. This doesn't have to just be a hindrance though. This is, it can at least be a positive thing, where if you have the burden come up and do kickback, I don't know, let's say actually you're, I don't know. I'm not gonna figure out positioning, but if you have the burden who's trying to like do kickback, and we'll explain kickback shortly, and your Titan is about to tumble far down the mountain, like let's say all your Titans are up here and you have one Titan who's getting attacked and is gonna get pushed all the way down the mountain, well, the tethering can also come in handy there because your Titans can also not be involuntarily moved beyond that 10 space limit. So it's a little bit of a constraint. It can also be handy. It's just something that you have to keep in mind and plan for. And I haven't done this fight in a while, so I'm not sure that I've really done much planning for it, but we are using a bunch of Dreamwalker Titans for a reason there, because if I lose one, I'm not super concerned about it. If you end up having a Titan death that causes that 10 space rule to be violated, you have to kill Titans until that 10 space rule is applicable. So you may not want to have your Titans be exactly 10 spaces apart. That's kind of hard to do anyway, but you don't want to be in a situation where you have to voluntarily just start killing off your Titans because for some reason your spacing was weird and one of them died and now it is, it's kind of screwed up. You only have to do that if the Titans do not meet the rule by the end of the Titan round. Okay, I think that covers everything that was in the rule book there. Now let's move on to his amazing, wonderful primordial sheet. It's gonna be hard. This is not gonna be easy to get in a way that you can read everything, but I'm just going to read it to you anyway, so it's not a big deal. We have movement, we have a 2-hit value of 8 or more. We have movement of 9. We have 12 health, so it's going to take 12 wounds to kill him. He does start with an escalate 1 as well. So there's only, between the BP 1s and the BP 2s, there's only 11 wounds that you can do. So if you want to try to kill him, you're going to have to be able to wound a BP 3, and I'll let you take your guess at how high you think those AT values are. But they're pretty high. If I remember correctly, I remember BP3s being a challenge to wound in this fight, at least early on, but we maybe shall see. Then we have, his first trait here is kickback. Kickback is very similar to knockback in that you have to be adjacent to the primordial or in its zone in order to suffer kickback, so you can try to avoid kickback by if you have a window of opportunity, you can try to reflex away to avoid that kickback. There are things that can reduce kickback as well, similar to knockback, similar to pushback. However, knockback reduction does not apply to kickback. They're separate things, even though kickback behaves like knockback, they are separate things, so you can't use knockback reduction on kickback. Let's use our Earthshaker Titan again as an example. If you are about to suffer kickback, let's say you suffer kickback, I don't know, kickback 8 from this position. Let's say what's his name? The burden is up here, he's just east of you, he's just above you, and you suffer kickback of 8, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and bump into this indestructible obstacle. At this point, you would suffer crash. So far, this is similar to knockback, you would suffer crash, and you would stop adjacent to it. But for kickback, instead of stopping, you just change your direction, and then you continue. You change it 90 degrees. So then you'd go 5, 6, 7, 8, and then if you were to continue suffering kickback here, then you would hit the board edge and continue down and go this way and so on. You could just basically just keep going down, down. Actually, you go all the way over. And it takes a lot of kickback, I think, to be able to fall off. This is a rule, honestly, that I would keep forgetting and messing up in my first playthrough of the game, because how I would normally treat kickback, like to me, it seems kind of intuitive to be like, oh, okay, well, he's going to get kicked back down to here. He's going to slide off to the side over here, and then he's going to continue falling downwards. But I don't think that's how it works. I think the rules as written also basically say like you only change direction if you meet an obstacle, or I think a board edge. I think it mentions that as well. So hopefully I'll remember to do that correctly. And if I am not doing that correctly, please call me out on it, because this is one of the more, at least in my mind, this is always one of the fights that I had like trouble remembering all of the rules for. And I'm sure in all my past videos, I probably had things where I'm like just forgetting one or two things here or there. But this one, forgetting one or two things can be a huge difference between winning or losing, just because it's a very mechanically complicated fight compared to what we've seen so far. So anyway, that is kickback onto Sisyphus' spiral. Sisyphus' spiral. I am not going to be able to say that 5 times fast. I'll probably just refer to this as the spiral, because Sisyphus is already a hard enough word on its own, followed by another S word is somewhat complicated. So the spiral is a trait that allows the burden to always be above his target. So let's say we had Earthshaker who was up here, and the burden is going to do something like a signature, which is going to target the furthest Titan in the highest column. So we're going to look for the highest column, and we are going to see that, okay, well, if he wanted to just get adjacent to him, he could go 1, 2, 3. By the way, these columns are indestructible in this fight, just a little note. I think that covers us for our terrain conversation. So now he's adjacent, but adjacent's not good enough for the burden, because we are going to try to go back to this view. We're going to try to spiral, and he's going to go clockwise movement around our Earthshaker. And I don't think the spiral counts as, like, he doesn't actually have to consider his movement in this case. He's just performing this trait that's the spiral, so I think he does this kind of automatically or for free in a way. But he's going to spiral so that he is now above and adjacent to his target. He may have situations where he can't perform that spiral. For instance, let's say we were here and the burden moved here to be able to get adjacent to our target, the Earthshaker. The burden is not able to do the spiral around the board edge. So these, I don't actually know if I mentioned it initially, but these cliff tiles are special. These ones that kind of form this almost like canyon or narrow up our map here. These are considered board edge tiles. You cannot move through these, and that includes the primordial. He cannot move through these either. So instead of him trying to move through these, he's going to just move above, he's going to move into the same space as his target, and he's going to displace him. I think in this case, actually, Earthshaker would die. If this situation came up, then the burden is just going to move here, which is not going to cause crash. It's going to cause the Titan to get displaced up to 2 spaces. In this case, I think he would die. If he were here, let's use this as an example, then burden is going to move north here, and Earthshaker is going to get displaced 2 spaces down the mountain as I'm moving all these tiles around. So I think that would be our ending situation. But again, if we were if Earthshaker had started here, he would be displaced into this indestructible column terrain tile, which would kill him. I could be wrong about that. If there's something that I am wrong about there, please let me know. But I think that's correct. All right, next trait. We just did Kickback, we did Sisyphus Spiral. We're now on to End of Hope, but you know End of Hope. This is an easy one to explain. At the end of the primordial round, the burden is always going to do his signature. So mostly always. We'll see that after the AI 0, where he may not be doing that, if I remember correctly. But End of Hope, we're familiar with that trait. Just allows the primordial to do multiple attacks in a single round, essentially. Let me go ahead and grab that, and you can look at that signature if you're able to read that somehow. Yeah, you can read that. Okay. So we have End of Hope. Next we have Splash. This is another easy trait. Difficult to remember, but simple in how it works. If the primordial causes crash on a Titan, or if a Titan suffers crash because of primordial movement, so if the primordial moves through a Titan and that causes crash, so then that Titan also gets an ambrosia token. So I think if we had something like Tumble, that would allow the Titan to, I have to look at the wording of Tumble again, because I think Tumble is the one that allows you to do, like, if you're about to suffer crash, you roll a die, and on 6+, you avoid crash. Let me see if I can find the wording of that really quickly, though. When you're about to suffer crash, roll a d10 on a 6+, ignore it. Yeah, so Tumble can also allow you to ignore that ambrosia gain as well. At least it's how I read that. Next we have the Moirai Vault. This is a bit of a nuanced trait, but the burden has ways that he can steal things from Titans, whether that is Nemos cards or gear or progress tokens. At least those are the ones that they list in the card here. I don't know if there are other things that he can possibly steal. But if they get stolen, they're put on the burden's primordial sheet here for the duration of the battle. If you want to try to get one of those things back, you have to attack him. Hope you get one of these cards that has this Fateless Eye symbol. This is where you would normally see that symbol that's denoting the Aeon Trespass value of the BP card, the AT value. It would be the same symbol, it just has like essentially an extra dot in the middle of it. If you have something stolen from you and you come across one of those BP cards, you can choose to, remember correctly, you have to wound it, and then instead of dealing the wound, you can choose to take one thing from the Moirai Vault and then discard this BP and gain 1 fate. So we'll explain that a little bit more when we have that situation come up. Hopefully we don't. I really hate mechanics that cause me to lose gear. It's probably the thing that I would, in my first playthrough, that if I were going to lose some piece of nice gear, I was then most likely to use a Sisyphus tier because I don't want to lose that nice gear. I like having nice things. I'm going to, let me do one last lighting adjustment here. Forgot to set this before starting the stream, or the recording. I think that still looks about the same now. I just want to make sure that's manually set. I started setting the white balance on the main camera just because I think it looks a little bit nicer. And also let's move this. What happens if we move this up a little bit so we can see some of these tokens more? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, I just put these tokens down here just to be kind of reminders for me to try to think about some of the important things about this fight. I use its condition token to remember the Titans are tethered together. I don't know, this symbol kind of looks like it has a little bit of a rope or a tether going through it. Then we have this Trespass token that has a little bit of a spiral going on in the middle there, so I have to remember the Sisyphus spiral trait. And then the ambrosia one is the one that makes the most sense. This is to represent the splash trait that causes you to gain an ambrosia token if you are suffer crash through primordial movement. But I think with that, we are now ready to get started into our fight. Let me think about if there's any differences that I want to explain in the loadout here. I think the only thing that's worth talking about is I removed most of the special titans from this fight just because I don't want to risk losing special titans in this one, because I don't remember his attacks all that well. There's a lot of things about him that I don't remember other than him being tricky. I think this fight you can get you can get into a rhythm where you start to figure out his movement, and it becomes much easier to be able to just get all titans across the top of the map there. But I don't remember how I used to do that, so this first fight could be a train wreck for us. We shall see. But even if it's a train wreck, as long as we come out of it starting to remember how we used to do that, how I used to do that, then it'll be, I've considered that a win. But if we lose this fight and we lost it and there wasn't at least one Argo-bred Titan participating, then we had to kill one randomly from our Titan Stoa. And I'd rather not lose one randomly because I really don't want to lose the Sky Seer. The Sky Seer is the most expensive Titan to recraft because we need to either use 20 calendar days to recraft her, or we'd have to use an Ascended core, which is a core you get from the Mnestis Theater. It's very hard to get, very rare, and I don't really want to be spending them willy-nilly because we only need them. We only have one right now. Anything else? Yeah, so Earthshaker, just for funsies, I gave him the puzzle axe so we could get 4 pieces of labyrinth gear on him. I don't know why this is on the whip side. We could get 4 pieces of labyrinth gear on him so that we could get deadly on the puzzle axe, just to try it out. I just wanted to do that. But everybody else, Hypatia has this little blue sticky note on her. Just actually revisiting, let's revisit all the sticky notes that we have here because I kind of forget some of them myself. The blue one is new. It's from a little adventure that we went on recently, or this is from her Nemos card. She gets to ignore the strong eat effect for one, or strong eat trait for one battle. The strong eat trait is not in this battle, so we only have 2 Obel cards in the deck right now. I don't know if this, I think technically this should go away because we're ignoring the trait for a battle, even if the trait's not there. I don't know if technically you're supposed to remove it, but I'm keeping it on until the next fight that we at least have the strong eat trait because that's more fun for me. So screw the rules. Maybe the rules are actually doing what I want them to do anyway in this case, but I'm saying regardless of that, I'm gonna do what I want because otherwise this was kind of silly to put on there. Olympia's sticky note is, this one I will actually explain more in the next story video when I'll do a recap of the story we've gone through, but this is from critting on a Cyclonus card, but she can get additional rage at the start of a fight against Cyclonus. And then Telebaka still just has this watched thing from Cycle 1. I don't think this actually matters anymore. I think this was really just for like a single story hub. But I'm keeping it on there just in case because he still technically is watched. I don't think there was anything that said that to remove that. So I'll keep it on there in case it comes up. All right, now let's get this fight started. Let me get my music back on. Oh, come on, that's too quiet. I gotta make sure it's not loud enough that you can hear it. Amazing. All right, let's get this show on the road. We are gonna draw an AI, and as you can see, we have an AI 0 in this fight. This is the second one that we've seen. This is Sisyphean task. Target is the Titan with the most movement. that is going to be Solon, because we have the Hermes cape on him that gives him +1 movement. So he's technically at 6 movement. So he will become the target for this attack. We are going to get judged and gain the Sisyphean condition card. Pull that out here. There we go. So it says you have -1 movement. Your cards cannot unexhaust. You ignore Tireless. I don't think we've seen Tireless come up in any of our fights so far, but Tireless is basically a keyword that allows you to ignore the cumbersome trait or the exhaust of the cumbersome trait during the second ability window. So it's pretty neat. If you have a powerful weapon, it typically has cumbersome on it as like a way to kind of balance it out, and Tireless can typically allow you to ignore that. But in this case, we ignore Tireless. When the burden attacks a Titan with Sisyphean, apply the following additional effects. Attack gains +1 attack die, and each hit deals +1 danger. So it's literally the opposite of toying. The Pursuer, the Pursuer had the toying effect. The burden doesn't have a toying effect. There's no messing around. He's starting off just using the normal values on his cards. Then we have when another Titan gains Sisyphean and there are no more Sisyphean cards in the game, pass this condition card to that Titan. So this condition can get passed around from Titan to Titan. And yeah. Right now, I don't think we have any way to remove this condition other than it being removed for us by the Primordial choosing to put it on somebody else. And let's see, then do not trigger End of Hope, so there's going to be no signature here. Okay, so that's what I remembered. Finally, remove this card from the battle. Cool, all right. So we're going to end that Primordial round. That's nice. Let's just put that there. Let's just flip that over because we don't need to worry about it. And we're essentially starting off in a Titan round with this fight. Let's start off here with Ulyssia. I'm going to attempt the climb test with her. We're going to see how we are doing with our luck this morning by starting with her. Let me scoot these over a little bit too. Okay. All right. So we're going to activate her. We are going to begin. Let's see. Yeah, everybody is at 0, no Triskelion. So we can move 1 space forward, and in the middle of our movement, we are going to initiate the climb test. This is a small cliff, so we will need an 8 or higher. Here's that terrain card for reference. I'm sure this is going to be almost impossible to read. Yes, it is. If you know the words that you're looking for on this, maybe you can make out the shape of them generally, but yeah, you can see small cliff, fury of 8 or higher down there. So she has 2 fury, so she only needs a 6 or higher to pass this test. That's an 8. All right, she succeeds. Maybe we're going to have good luck with rolling today. So she's going to move. She moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's going to end her movement there. There's nothing else she can really do. Yeah, she's just going to move there and just stare at the burden in the face. Or one of its faces. All right, we'll zoom out there. And now, do we want to attempt that test with anybody else? Maybe not. Earthshaker and Solon have the ascended Eolipile engines, so they can get some extra movement to try to get around that cliff. I like to try to avoid those climb tests in this fight whenever possible. It's usually with the Titan that's in the spot that Ulyssia started out in, I'll usually do the climb test with them if they don't have a trait like Skyseer, for instance, is amazing in this fight because she can fly over these terrain tiles and just, you know, other than being limited by the tether rule of this battle, she can zip pretty quickly to the top of the mountain there. But in this case, I think I'll just use movement on my other Titans and just move around it. And that should give us at least a decent starting position for everybody for the going into the first real primordial round, I'd say. So next, let's go with Earthshaker. Activate, and then we're going to move. We're going to use our Aeolipile engine, and we might as well also use Minoan Heritage as well. So he's going to be able to move 8 spaces total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also on that, on the Sisyphean card, it says the target with the most movement. My assumption has always been that it's the Titan with the most like base or passive movement. So I don't consider movement bonuses from active abilities. Like the Aeolipile engine has a cost of exhausting and fate, so it's an active ability. Minoan Heritage has a cost of exhausting, so it's an active ability. I don't consider those bonuses for the sake of that evaluation. I only consider the passive ones, like the one on Hermes Cape, which is just +1 movement regardless. So maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong. To me, it seems intuitive, so I'm going to do it like that. And he's not going to use his combat action to attack, so we're going to use it to unexhaust our gear, and we're going to end his turn. We're going to just be doing a lot of movement this round and not really much attacking. Or really any attacking, I don't think. Next, let's just go with Herodotus. And he has nothing that we're going to use for bonus movement, so he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And wonderful job, Herodotus. Completed your turn. And then lastly, we'll go with Solon, who also has the Aeolipile engine. Gain a fate. He's going to be able to move 7 because the -1 from Sisyphean just cancels the +1 that he got from Hermes Cape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, so we could have had him go before, because right now he technically can't move through Herodotus. So we could have had him go here at the start or before Herodotus went. But this is where we want to start thinking about what do we think is likely to happen from, what's it called? From the Burden doing his AI and signature, and like who could get run over and have to suffer knockback, because we know the signature during End of Hope is going to target the furthest Titan in the highest column in range. So we also, I mean, if you haven't done this site before, you maybe not be able to infer this, but I do at least remember that his AI cards just deal a lot of kickback. So I'm going to assume that every card that comes up is going to have some kickback on it. I think the lower level AI cards have a window of opportunity that you can use to dodge that kickback or like reflex away from that kickback and avoid it. The signature did not, excuse me, does not. So the target of the signature, like there's always going to be a Titan who's generally suffering kickback unless you're somehow able to reduce that to 0. Or if you have, would Rocksteady? I think Rocksteady would also help here, because I think Rocksteady just says involuntary movement. Let me double check that. P, Q, R, let me remember my alphabets. Rocksteady, when you are about to, oh wait, I'm sorry, Rocksteady is knocked down. I'm looking for Steadfast. Q, R, S, where are you at, S? You were on the first sheet that I was looking at. It's Stalwart that I'm looking for. Why am I thinking Steadfast? When you're about to suffer knockback, you may use this ability to ignore it. Oh, I'm sorry, actually. So yeah, Stalwart would not even work for kickback. Maybe I'm thinking of maybe Kingdoms Forlorn had Stalwart or Steadfast, one of those two, and that actually just said involuntary movement. But maybe not. Maybe it didn't. And maybe there's another keyword that I'm forgetting from this game. Oh, yeah, so wait, what was I getting at there? if we stay in this position, my concern would be, let's say the burden is probably going to target, let's just assume that the targeting from the signature is going to be similar to the AI for now. Target furthest titan in the highest column in range. That would be 1, 2, 3, or really 1, 2, yeah, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, oh, we'd have to go there if we did Earthshaker. So he might do Solon first in this case. He would not have to spiral because he'd be above him without spiraling. So do his attack, probably do kickback. Ooh, in this case, Solon would not be able to reflex away, so I don't like that. But if we move him, where was he at? Here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could, maybe we just don't even want to, could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. Is that a dumb idea? Like you just don't want them to be too grouped together because the spiral is going to cause like crash, and we do have, oh, actually I do not want to use reflex priming in this fight. That was a new AA that I got, and I don't want to use that. I'd rather have the one that allows us to get knocked down titans standing up. So the Primordial hasn't done anything noteworthy, so I think it's okay to still swap that out. But yeah, so if the Primordial was going to go after Earthshaker, you could go 1, 2, 3, go here, cause him to suffer kickback. And then after that, he would then go after Ulyssia, in which case he would not have to spiral. He could just go here. So let's say if you had to suffer kickback 8, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But maybe we could just reflex U1 away. I think on the AI card we're more likely to have a reflex that we can do that just a window of opportunity, I should say. Then you would go after Ulyssia. She would get kickback 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Also, I think I'm doing that right. Like I don't remember if it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or if it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's the latter, just because similar to knockback, like if you got knocked back 2, 1, 2, you're just going to wind up here without having to interact with this. Knockback 3, you still end up in this spot, but you have crash and everything. So just explaining my rationale there in case I'm wrong. I want to explain why I'm thinking that this could be the right thing, but this feels intuitive to me. All right, so let's try this positioning. Let's see if we did anything dumb. And then we can use Solon's combat action to get him his stuff back. And we are ready for the primordial round. Draw AI card. Like I said, there was an Escalate 1, so there is an AI 2 and BP 2 in these respective decks. Sisyphean Tilt. The target is going to be 2 Titans starting from the highest column. Okay, so I think it's going to be Earthshaker and Ulyssia. Be a ranged simultaneous attack. Okay. Range attack unlimited. Each hit deals 2 danger. Gain 1 fate. Kickback 6. Oof. That's pretty brutal, because I don't think we're going to be able to avoid this kickback at all. All right, let's start with, I guess we'll start with Ulyssia as the first target. So she's going to get 3 dice. She needs an 8 or higher to evade. Oh, she does have dodge for this. Maybe we want to use dodge. Is there a reason not to? I mean, bringing that down from an 8 or higher to 7 or higher is pretty notable. Okay, yeah, let's dodge. Gain of fate. Let's see, we have a fate gate of 5 or more, so we would like to avoid that, but even if we have to reroll all 3 of them, we won't hit 5 fate. Oh, actually, but we're going to gain a fate, so hopefully we don't have to reroll all of them. We want to not do that. After final attack, burden moves to the center of the board. He's already there, so that won't really be a factor. We need a 7 or higher, so this is the only one to evade. We're going to reroll both of these, bringing us to 3 fate. Ah, dang, we almost got a full evade there. But we get 2 evades. The dodge didn't really help us, but I'm still glad I used it. So 1 hit is going to deal 2 danger. She has nothing to reduce that, so she is going to take 2 danger and draw a minor trauma. And ooh, that's awesome. Chain break, gain the knockdown standing up condition. So that will actually prevent her from gaining the fate and the kickback, because these are separated by sentences. So if this was each hit deals 2 danger and gain 1 fate, then the chain break would not prevent the fate gain there. But because it's different sentences, we do the trauma draw immediately after we were dealt the danger, or like within the same sentence that we were dealt the danger, and then because of the chain break, we can ignore the remainder of the effects that would target her, since this is a simultaneous attack. Okay, awesome. Again, maybe I'm wrong about something there. Please feel free to call me out if I'm wrong on anything. I have been wrong in some of my videos before. So now we'll just move on to Earthshaker as our next target. 3. You do not, you'll be able to get 2 free rerolls, but you don't have anything to make that evasion roll easier. So you're going to get 3 dice, you need 8 or higher. We can block one of them as well if we need to. That is a crit evade. I don't think we get anything for a crit oh, actually, oh, you may immediately perform pushback 2. Okay, I think pushback probably says you have to go the shortest path to the target. Yeah, if the affected miniature is not adjacent, move the source in its direction along the shortest possible path. So we have to zigzag. So we could go 1, 2. Maybe we want to do that. Oh, also, actually, maybe should I have reflexed? I'm gonna say that, because I forgot we had this. It's okay. It's a first fight. We're not actually trying to kill him. This is a little questionable, but I'm going to... Oh, actually, maybe I would not have wanted to do that. Maybe I would not have wanted to do it for the sake of the fate. 2, let's reroll 1. No, I would have, because I don't think I would be able to get to 5 fate anyway here. So we would have done the advanced reflex here, so we would have done this. And then with that crit evade, that would mean I probably wouldn't have wanted to do anything with the pushback there. Yeah, I don't think I would have done anything with pushback from this point. So we'll move this off to the side. We will get our 2 free rerolls using Temino Scale Shield. Also, I don't verbally state when I'm doing this, but like, I think I've mentioned this in a Cycle 1 video. when you're getting attacked, you have to choose a defensive weapon. Like, it mostly matters if you have multiple shields. You have to pick at the beginning of the attack which shield you're going to use. So I just haven't been calling it out because I only have one defensive weapon or one shield on him. So 8 or higher, come on. Ooh, okay, well, at least we got one more evade. That'll be slightly reduce our danger gain there. Oh, and actually we can block. Yeah, let's do that. So we got 2 natural evades, we'll call them, and then we will gain a fate to block 1. So Earthshaker is going to become the target for the signature. That's okay. So he's basically going to get, will that matter here? No, because when you spiral, you'll go up here. Okay. Yeah, I think this is working out well. We gained the fate, we used block, so we do not have any hits to resolve for that range attack, so we'll move on to the after final attack. Burden moves to the center of the board. He's already there. That's another reason why we would not have wanted to do that pushback, because he would have just, we could have pushed him back to over here. Earthshaker would be there, and then he'd move to the center of the board and cause unavoidable knockback on us, which would be ambrosia and crash and all these other fun things. So that will end this attack. Then we are going to go to the signature, who's going to target the furthest Titan in the highest column in range. Highest column is going to only be Earthshaker, so it will be him as our target. And then Burden is going to move here, then spiral up clockwise. And we're going to have 3 dice. We need a 10 or higher to evade. No evades. We don't get any free rerolls because our shield is exhausted. So we're going to take 3 hits. Each hit deals 2 danger. Oof, that's tough. We're about to gain 6 danger. We have 2 armor dice. That reduces it by 1 to 5. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference there, but let's still take it. Now at 5 danger, we can get a major trauma. Another Titan may move up to 3 spaces or stand up. Ooh. Who do I want moving? I think I just want Ulyssia to continue moving up. So that way, like, I don't think we're going to be able to have anybody escape next Titan round, but the following Titan round, the following primordial round, she will be most likely to get attacked. And we can just try to have her maybe take both the AI and the signature. Hopefully she can avoid the knockback from the AI. She'll take the kickback from the signature, and that will put her back to not the highest anymore, but at least we will have moved up a few spaces to account for some of that kickback she's going to take in the future. 2, 3. Okay, nice. These have been helpful traumas so far. We gained our danger. We're going to gain 1 fate. It's still with Earthshaker here. It goes up to 4 fate. Not great. Now he gains the Sisyphean card. And after attack, kickback 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suffer crash. 6, 7, 8. Oh, do we want him to try to do a climb test there? Maybe. Maybe not, though. He's got the engine. Maybe we just want to keep him up so he's not holding others back. Let's see. Do we have tumble? Checking. I don't think so. I think we're going to have to just take this crash. Yeah, okay. We will take the crash. It's going to be a danger and knockdown. Oops. All right, we are back in the Titan round. Could have Titans attack just to see what some of these BPs are. I don't really want to. Like, I could do it with Odyssey because she's right there, but she doesn't really have a ton. Like, it'd be nice to get back her Hermes tatters. I don't know. Let me think about it. But I think first I want to go with Herodotus here. And I'll activate him. Oh, actually, I could have during one of those windows of opportunity, during the signature, I think I could have used more reflex charges here. Yeah, during that window of opportunity on the signature, I will have used his Pursuer Ultimatum. I'll have to keep that more in mind in the future and be better about that. With using reflex is basically free movement to try to climb the mountain. So he would have been able to go 1, 2, 3. And now on his turn, move this back. He would have move 5. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we could go, what do we say here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we did say that this space is kind of bad because if he gets attacked, I think he's going to die from getting displaced into an indestructible tile, so let's avoid putting him in there. Granted, we'll actually have Pursuer Ultimatum back. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's just put him there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll use combat to get that back. And I think everybody is still within 10 spaces. That's 2, 4, 6, 7. Everybody abides by that tethered rule. Oh, we're gonna go next with Ulyssia, just because we'll show breaking that tethered rule and then trying to meet it again before the end of the primordial, or before the end of the Titan round. I did actually forget with her, we have this Death Precedes Nemos. We could have started one space up the mountain if we wanted to. So I will have to keep that in mind as well. But I think, did she, yeah, oh yeah, she did pass her climb test. So she actually would have been able to get one space. Huh, that could have changed a lot about the battle. Not, yeah, because she would have been the target of the signature, I think. Anyway. We're going to use A Night to Remember Nemos to get Hermes tatters back. And then let's just attack. Let's just do one attack. Let's just see what ABP looks like for the burden, a BP1. So we're going to gain a rage. And we can still attack here because unlike the labyrinth tiles, even though the primordial is on top of a terrain tile, that terrain tile does not block the line of sight to the burden. I think the labyrinth tiles are the only exception with that because they have those like red lines, oh geez, which represent like the walls, and they're kind of on the edge and kind of blocking the between the spaces, or acting as obstacles between spaces, I guess. I'd have to see if that's the correct understanding or the correct rationale, but I think that's the correct net result. Anyway, so we're attacking. We went up to 1 rage. We have just +1 to precision, right? He's an 8 or higher to hit, so he needs 7 or higher. Our weapon does have auto break 1, so let's just use arrow barrage to make sure we don't full miss here. We'll get 2 opening tokens in the pool. And then we're only going to have 1 die. This will be our first time attacking with our Labyrinth Mauler. So we have +3 total. We need 5 or higher to hit. It's going to be a 6. I'll take that. BP1. 5. Oh, and it's hardened. Ooh. Ooh, okay, actually, this is good information to know. I forgot that the Burden had hardened BP cards because we now have, I have not been paying attention to this because I haven't really thought I needed it for this fight, but we can use this 13th Muse Grand Cannon. Basically, at the start of a Titan round, you can roll a die to try to prime a shot. If you get a 6 or higher on the die, you successfully prime. You choose one of these 3 payloads that you can use as an effect. I think it has to be during a free ability window at some point. There is an emergency priming thing, but we won't cover that. Grant different effect. Yeah, I think you can basically use it as at the same time as any other Argo ability, or if there's like a special timing effect on it. But there's one cannon shot on there that if you prime with that one, you can ignore the hardened trait on a BP card if it comes up. So you get 2 shots of that cannon throughout the battle, but you have to prime it ahead of time. So there's a little bit of planning involved with it and knowing what type of shot you want to use. I think the 3 possible types of shots are the Armor Piercer, which allows you to ignore hardened for a BP. The, Relief Shredder, which allows you to create a vantage point on a Primordial. That'll be super helpful against the Chimera Primordial. And then there is the Siege Breaker, which allows you to, you use that during a window of opportunity, and you fire it to break any combo except unbreakable combos. So awesome against both the Cyclonus and the Nietzschean. So we have to get 7 or higher on this. And we have, 2 reds, a black, and we had an auto break that we should have put in there. She does not have 6 or more danger, so she does not get that auto break of 2. All right, well, let's just, can we even get this? We could get 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, we'd have to roll the high, like, we'd have to basically roll this or this to get this. No. Actually, wait, no, we can't. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Still getting my caffeine for the morning. What's our fail? Oh, it's an instinct. Gain as many. Oh, this one is brutal. I think there's a similar one for Rage. Gain as many fate as there are Kratos tokens in the Kratos pool. I mean, the Rage one is worse. Ooh, but this one could really hurt us because we were about to use her as like the. That's okay. We're gonna see some of the negative effects that we can get from the Burden here. So we're gonna fail that. Gain as many fate as there are Kratos tokens in the Kratos pool. So there are 3 tokens. We're going to gain 3 fate. Yeah, I think there is one for Rage. And the Rage one is pretty awful because if you have good Titans and you're leaving a lot of tokens, you could easily push yourself over Rage 9 and just die from that. I don't remember if that's, I think it's on a BP1, because I think you can draw that early in a fight, which is preferable because you're less likely to have more Kratos tokens in the pool. I don't remember if it's like a wound response or an instinct response. I'm pretty sure it's not a fail response, though. I'm pretty sure it's a either a wound or an instinct. Okay, so this will go into our BP discard. We still have our movement left. Oh, sorry. Clear the Kratos pool and second ability window. We don't have to worry about cumbersome because we did not wound. Overbreak does not matter because we did not wound. And then Spartan Dreamwalker, Kratos. We could get, it doesn't really matter. I'm probably not, I'll just put a break token in there. I will probably not be attacking again anyway because I just want to get out of this fight, to be perfectly honest. Do we have any reposition? Oh, we do have reposition too. Okay, let's just have her go reposition 2. And then for her movement, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we could go 4, 5. How far is she from Herodotus? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should be okay. Part of me is thinking I might want to put her over here. Actually, I think I do want to do that because then when she suffers kickback, let's see, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. When she suffers kickback, she will at least be able to... oh, but if we do this, then Sisyphus Spiral is going to cause him to suffer crash, so maybe we just want to go here. Because if we were here and she gets kicked back, she's just going to go straight down and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I forget, is there... Let's see, change 90 degrees. So it's parallel to the feature and continue to resolve the remaining kickback. In this way, you may bounce several times during a single kickback. If possible, change direction so that you move towards the bottom of the board, column 1. If it's not, move towards the closest end of the feature that forced you to change direction, if possible. Okay, so yeah, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8. Maybe go this way, depending on the amount of kickback. Or here we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not a huge difference, but I think we do prefer this spot. Just a little nervous with how much fate she has and her like taking a huge attack or having to draw a Moiros card. But again, this is a fact-finding battle. But yeah, now we are breaking rules here. We are not tethered right now. So we need to fix this not tether the problem before the end of the Titan round. Oh, actually, no, yeah, because I think we can't even do this. No. I'm sorry. I may have to change the order of some things that I did here because I totally forgot. You cannot, for the tethered rule, it's like the only way you can break the tethered rule is like if a Titan dies. You cannot voluntarily break it. So, all right, whatever. I'm not going to take back that attack and everything because we've already screwed some things up there. We could have just gone first with both Earthshaker and Solon. So for the sake of this, we're going to say that this space is basically being blocked by Ulyssia. And let's go with Earthshaker first. I think we need to go with him next. Before his turn, we will do Teleresuscitation to have him stand up. Get rid of knockdown. Then we will do... we're going to exhaust Minoan Heritage. We're going to exhaust Eolipile Engine. That's going to cause him to gain a fate. 5 fate, but we have 5 movement plus 2 movement plus 2 movement. That's 9 minus 1 from Sisyphean. So we have 8 movement total. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could go, or we could try to climb. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be really nice. But let's not risk it on the climb, because if we, that's gonna really screw things up. If I do not successfully climb with him. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just go adjacent to the burden. Probably a bad idea. I'm not going to attack him because I don't want to risk the negative side effects that my doctors have warned me about of attacking the burden. So we will not do that. It's like and then we're going to use the combat action to get this stuff back on exhausting these cards. Still cracks me up, just like when you see those commercials, at least in the United States. I don't think you really see this in other countries. The commercials in the United States for like pharmaceutical drugs, and you just have the last 10 seconds. It's just talking about all of the negative side effects that occur. And it's just like, oh, happy families playing, flying a kite, kid running through the grass and everything. And it's just like, yeah, if you experience drowsiness, dizziness, death, you know, talk to your doctor about it immediately. What the heck was I doing? Okay, we just finished Earthshaker's turn there. Boom, done. Oh, sorry, you were activated. And then with Solon, we will just go use your Aeolipile engine, gain a fate. And we do have this repurposed cryptics with him, which would allow him to get an extra movement during one of his turns. I don't think it's going to help us right now, though. Because right now we can move, like, so with that, we could potentially move, what? We have 6 base movement. So we could do 6 plus 6 is 12. We could move 14 with him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, if we could get off the map with him this round, it would be worth it to do it, but we cannot. And the downside of using this is that the following turn we would not be able to move. So I'm not going to use that right now, but we are going to move 8 spaces, right? Because we have 6 plus 2 from our Aeolipile engine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then now if we had gone last with Ulyssia, I think we never would have broken the tethered rule. Cool. All right, let me grab some water before I do the primordial round. Okay, I'm back. Primordial round time. Burden, how will you burden us this time? At least it's not an AI2. Lake Pierce. Target is priority target in range. Ooh, we're going to be focusing on the priority target. Ooh, that's so that's going to be Herodotus. I didn't really give him the PT intentionally. I just kind of gave it to him. Oh, actually, in this fight, sorry, in most cycle 2 fights, you do not change the priority target because of rage gain, but there's nothing in this fight that would prevent that. So it should be Ulyssia right now. Okay. I think I actually prefer that. So let's go to Ulyssia here. Leg Pierce is going to be a movement attack. 3 dice. Each hit is going to deal 2 danger. And then we would gain a fate. Oof. Oh man, that's kind of nasty. Sisyphean, gain 1 additional fate for each hit. Oh, that's good that she does not have Sisyphean. After attack, knockdown, rewind, which we ignore. I didn't talk about that. That's one more trait on the burden. There is thing that says not yet. Disable rewind, cycle 2 only. So, yep, we'll just disable rewind. We don't know what it, well, I know what it is. Some of you watch it, most of you watching probably know what it is. I would imagine that a lot of people who are watching this have actually played this game. And then gain 1 negative speed token. So no kickback? Oh, that might be, the no kickback might be kind of bad. We actually will probably want to just have Herodotus maybe reflex, because I don't think I really want Ulysses taking both this AI and the signature. Because we don't really want to die, mostly because I don't want to lose Doom, or I don't want to gain Doom from losing, because I think we would, do we still gain Doom from losing this fight? Oh, no, we don't. It's just interesting, huh? Okay. So we will do our move and attack. Gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we will spiral. Stop there. And we're gonna have 3 dice. We need a 10 or higher. And I don't think I want to use dodge. Actually, no, maybe I do want to use dodge. We just can't really do a lot of re-rolling. So I'll use dodge to go up to 7 fate. So we need 9 or higher to evade. Crit evade fail. Nothing for that. Okay. Oof, so it is going to be 3 hits. I could re-roll one of them. That would potentially allow me to ignore 2 danger. Danger's not the thing that I'm worried about right now. Let's see. So, oh, actually, it could mean that we draw a major trauma instead of a grave. Yeah, all right. I'll spend a fate to re-roll one of them. That's gonna be 2 hits. Ooh, all right. Crit evade failed to crit evade. Nothing for a crit evade though. But we're gonna go down to 2 hits. We're gonna take 4 danger. It brings us to 6 danger total. It's a major trauma. Oh, shoot. Do we have a second chance? No, we don't. Ah, we're going to be drawing a Moiros card. Ah. Okay. We're going to gain 2 rage. And we're getting 1 fate, so we're now at 9 fate. And then we don't chain break this one. So we are going to draw a Moiros card because we are going over 9 fate. Ooh, all right. Reduce your fate to 0. After battle, resolve the fateful visitant special event. Okay. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, the reducing your fate to 0 is great. I'm a little cautiously optimistic about the fateful visitant, though. Okay. We will do that in a bit. So she will keep this with her in case she has to draw another one, because if she draws another Moiros, she dies. And then after attack, knockdown, and then gain 1 negative speed token. I'm trying to remember the fateful visitant. Also, would it be a different one of these per cycle? I'm just trying to remember how negative it can be. But I don't remember. I mean, potentially it's not as bad as some other ones. Like I think we could have lost crew or just died. Knockdown. Oh, I gotta get the knockdown condition card. And put her on her side. Ooh. Actually, if we had done, we could have done this Pursuer protocol. Oh, sorry, these should have been removed at the end of the last Titan round or at the start of the Primordial round. We could have actually had her reflex off to the side here. Then she would at least avoid the knockdown. Let's do that. And simultaneously during that window of opportunity before the after attack, we will have used the superior reflex on Herodotus. Go to 2 fate. So we can go 1, 2, 3, and then he will become the Titan in the highest spot there. That will end that attack. And then we will do signature. It's going to be furthest Titan in the highest column. It's going to be Herodotus. Herodotus will get targeted. Go 1, then he's going to spiral. Then he's going to get blocked because he can't go on those tiles. So he's going to move onto Herodotus' space and cause him to get displaced below. All right, and then we're gonna have 3 dice, 3 hits to try to evade here. We need a 10 or higher. That is no evades. I don't think I'm gonna re-roll any of those. We will take 6 danger. Oh, sorry, we can try to reduce it by 2. Jeez. We reduce it by 1, so we take 5 danger. That'll be a major trauma. Heroic death. Ooh. This is not the first round. You die, but you won't sell your life cheap. Immediately stand up, move up to 3 spaces, and perform a bonus attack. Then shuffle this card back into the trauma deck and die. If you have the Spark of the Dead Gods technology card, roll a d10. On a 10, you awaken. Ah, dang. On most fights, this would not be that bad. This sucks. He doesn't have any second chance either. Darn. Because even if we wound, we're still most likely going to die unless we awaken, so unfortunately we're probably going to lose this first fight with the burden. Okay. It is what it is. Maybe we can at least try to get a wound off. What weapon does he have? He has Horizon's Edge. Okay, he has a chance. So he's going to get 2 dice. And he will have +2 to hit, so we will need 6 or higher. That's going to be a 6 and a 2. We'll keep the 6. We will re-roll that 2. This, at least because we got 1 hit off, at least we know we'll chain break. Oh, that is like literally just right in the middle between an, is it cocked? It is cocked. It was split between a 9 and a 1, so I'm going to re-roll it. That's a 5. That does not hit. We only get 1. We'll get 2 red die total and a black die. No auto anything. Okay, let's put this off to the side for now. And we need 6 or higher. Not hardened. Okay. We have one break token. We have just one power. Oh, sorry, he needs a rage. Oh no, he has no power reroll right now. So it's one at a time. Boom. Nice. Boom. Okay. Boom. Hey! All right, we wound. 2, 4, 6. Perform signature against the attacker. No, thank you, because this is a bonus attack, so we don't have to worry about that. We got a wound! Yay! All right, yeah, we don't move to 3 spaces and perform a bonus attack. Then shuffle this card back into the trauma deck and die. Okay. The Spark of the Dead Gods technology card is just the one that allows us to do the awakening rolls. So we will shuffle this back in. Oh, sorry. Before I do the roll too for the awakening, I do need to finish this attack because we have to escalate. This just kind of feels like a waste of time right now, but we'll do it anyway. All right, I'm just gonna stop there. Take out an AI1. Escalate with AI2. Boom, 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 boom. Oh gosh. Sure, whatever. I'll just put the AI2 on top. That's fine. And then second ability window. It's going to be 2 opening and a break. Keep that break. 2 opening. And then we have to roll a 10. That's a 3. That is nothing close to a 10. So we die and we lose. Want, want. All right, Herodotus is dead. I guess on the bright side, at least we got one wound off. We'll get some resources there.
Now you know why Sisyphus wept. You weep too, broken and despairing. And he did this for an eternity. That is your only hope. The legendary greater Titan is nowhere to be found, seemingly free from his burden, one way or another. Maybe you too will make it one day.
Okay. So Fruitless Memories. Random Argonaut gains 1 Nemos node for their Nemos card with the most nodes. If this concludes the Nemos, take the option that leads to a new Argonaut being introduced. Oh, I see. Retiring them ends up costing an Argo Fate. Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna roll off 4 of our Argonaut dice. And what do we say? Lowest. Lowest will get the Nemos node. Is it for the chosen Nemos? With the most nodes, okay. Our yellow is cocked here. Our green is kind of cocked too. I'm just gonna re-roll both of those. But we got a 10 for Telebacchus, and we got a 3 for Hypatia. And Hypatia is going to be the lowest with that 3. So she is going to get a node probably for her cast-off Nemos. Where are we at here? Argonauts. Yeah, I want to start getting some nodes for this other one. I don't love either of these Nemoses that much. Second level of Scorn Champion is good. I mean, it's still a danger gate of 3. I would say cast off is better, especially the level 3 ability of cast off is awesome. That is really good. I don't really care about trying to like put that back in the Nemo's Vault necessarily just for that ability. But if we could choose, I would rather retire off of Scorn to Champion, I think, and try to keep Cast Off. But I don't get to choose here. Then see rewards and penalties in our fight. Add a Dream of Pharos event to the timeline 2 days from now. Okay. Dream of Pharos for day 15. Reset Triskelions. I'll take care of that off camera. Subtract 3 Argo Fate. We can do that right now. You're pretty high on Argo Fate. Although you do lose 3 Argo Fate per battle in this cycle, so that does help to gain or to get control over your Argo Fate. But if I remember correctly, I think there's a lot more gaining of Argo Fate in this cycle overall, so I think it's kind of necessary. I'm sure there'll be points where we're trying to initiate battles with the burden just for the sake of reducing our Argo Fate. I didn't do that as much in cycle 1 as I expected to. Early on, I kind of did a couple of times. Okay, Tides of Fate, subtract 3 Argo Fate. Resources, gain resources from wounded BPs, gain 1 burden core resource for every critically wounded. Well, I don't have to worry about that. We're just gonna get, we have some resources from this card. What resource is that? Looks like a relief shell fragment. Yeah, we get 2 of those. Gain additional resources depending on the number of Titans that have successfully reached the peak. Well, that's 0 for us. If the battle was lost with 1 or less Argo-bred Titan participating, 2 or less if fought in cycle 3. That's not correct, so we don't have to lose any Argo-breds because at least we have the Earthshaker participating. You cannot use a Pygmalion Stone to save this Titan. We have not gotten to that actually yet, so we'll skip that. If this is your first battle with the burden, add the burden sighting technology card to your projects and gain 1, what's it called? Argo knowledge. Did I read IO 22? I think I did. Make a note to read this one. I know we can read this now, but sometime, I know in my last adventure video, I totally forgot to read IO 21 on camera. I'm going to cover what happened in IO's 20, oh wait, no, not 22, 23. I'm going to cover what happened in IO's 22 and 21 in the next adventuring video, which is also when I'll read IO 23. Then, add the burden sighting technology to the projects deck. We don't just immediately gain it, it's just a project. We can go add project. Burden sighting, right? Was it automatically added for us? No. Is it a secret deck? No. Where the heck is it? Do I like have it somewhere already for some reason? No. Projects. Add a project. Okay, maybe I'll just search for it. Burden. What? I feel like I'm going crazy right now. I might be doing something dumb. Technology. All. Add project. Cycle, is it a cycle 3 tech? It is. Did it say that in here? No, no, it did not. Okay. burden sighting. Okay. Casualties. Discard all conditions and tokens on Titan sheets. Note dead Titans on the Argo sheet. Lose a Spartan Dreamwalker Titan. Rest in peace. Okay. That will end that. We will end this video here. So we at least learned a little bit more about the burden. I think, let's see, what would I change going into the next burden battle? Maybe I'll actually in the next burden fight, I'll probably still want to use Dreamwalker Titans just in case. Like, I'm not comfortable enough yet to say I'm confident to use my like Sky Seer Titan and other Titans. I don't want to risk losing them. I mean, maybe the only thing that I really regret doing is getting that first attack off. If I'm not trying to deal wounds, I don't think it's really worth it to try to attack. Because even best case scenario, if I wounded, I'm just getting another AI2 in the deck. I don't think it's worth it for like the few resources that we would get. I think for a while, I just want to be trying to get all the Titans out and win that way, and just kind of use this battle as a like basically relief valve for Argo Fate, and for getting the Dreams of Pharos events, because those are neat and can give some good bonuses. Yeah, so honestly, I don't know what I would have done differently in this. I feel like I say that in a lot of my reflection videos, but maybe just because I need more time to think about it. Because I think the movement was good. I don't think we made any significant like faux pas or mistakes with our movement. Maybe it was possible that I could have gotten a Titan out by now at this point. Bringing Teleresuscitation was a good idea. Maybe not bringing Arrow Barrage, like maybe bringing... it might be worthwhile bringing something else if I'm not planning on attacking. Maybe Fate Sync. That would allow us to lose Fates if we need to, or Crisis Protocol, which would give us the ability to add or subtract 2 danger. That could help us get some danger gates if we need to get there for some of our better abilities on our cards. I'll keep those in mind for next time. I do need to remember more about using, like even if we're not planning on attacking, just trying to keep the 13th Muse cannon primed with that, what's it called? Armor Piercer round, in case we do attack for some reason and we draw an AI card with Hardened, we can negate that Hardened. So, yeah, we won't, when we go to try, I do want to try to kill the burden for good in this cycle. Similar to what we did with the Pursuer in cycle 1. In my first playthrough, I didn't kill the burden until cycle 3. So I do want to try to do it in cycle 2 in this playthrough. Okay. All right, I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thank you all for joining. I think the next video is going to be another battle, because right now we are on the timeline day where we have a combat encounter as well. And I think we're going to be fighting the Chimera Mystatios in that fight. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Before I ended the video, I totally forgot that we needed to read the Fateful Visitant special event from the Moiros card. So I'm going to jump over to that reading really quickly, and then we will end the video after that.
During the last battle, you tempted the fates like never before. You felt their pull and refused to give in. At one point, you thought you died. Your thread snapped. Yet, here you are. As you contemplate your brush with oblivion in the mess hall, in the early hours of the morning, a figure approaches you. At first, you think it's one of the crew members from the Middle Watch, come to send you off to your quarters. But no. The mysterious stranger is clad in an ethereally white robe, with a long hood concealing their face. "You cheated the Moirae today, Argonaut." Voice as cold as the grave. For a moment, you think it's Thanatos himself who has visited you. But then the figure pulls the hood off, and you see it's a middle-aged woman with silvery hair. "I should be dead, I know." "Death is dead," she replies dryly. "And you are the proof the rule of the fates is not absolute. I am here to tell you, do what you're doing. Defy them. The tyranny of the Moirae must one day end." She turns to leave, but you grab her by the sleeve of her robe. "Who are you?" She tugs at the robe, pulling it free. "Not your concern, Argonaut." You reach for your Argoziphos and yell for the guards, but she is gone. Even though it would have taken several seconds for an Olympic athlete to reach the closest door of the mess hall.
The Argonaut who experienced the event gains the visited boon. Whenever you survive an obol draw, subtract 1 fate. Okay, so I will have to make a note of that. I do need to figure out a better way of tracking all these boons for Argonauts, especially if they get more than one, because I needed something, I need them to be visibly showing on my display here so that I can remember them. But I'll figure something out. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.